That's why ketamine has been so important for so many people, because so why would you do ketamine? Why would you do any psychedelic for that matter? Ayahuasca, psilocybin, 5-MeO, ketamine. For me, and I would consider myself a psychonaut, I love to explore. I really love to explore the mind. And having helped others and myself explore the mind and who we really are, that's why you would do it, to understand that you are not this character. You've heard Jim Carrey talk about it. You've heard Eckhart Tolle talk about it. You've heard all the mystics talk about it. You know, the yogis and the mystics, they would call you a master if you could go to this place of bliss, of absolute energy and not physicality. And ketamine, for me at least, and for others that I've worked with, it has been that result. What do I mean? Let's look at it this way. Your whole world is a snow globe, okay? At the bottom of the snow globe is that snow, that substance that sits at the bottom because it's heavier than the liquid that sits above it. So if you look at what we are density. You have a human body, you are physical. So if you look at that snow globe, what's happening? Well, the stuff at the bottom, that snow, that density, is non-movement. It is heavy, so it sinks below the liquid above, which is more physical, more flow, more energy. So maybe our humanness is just the settling of the snow in the snow globe. And what ketamine does, or psychedelics for that matter, is when you shake it, and maybe you just give it one shake, it mixes that density, that physicality in with the flow, in with the conscious flow of energy. You become more energetic than you become physical. So when people are on a journey, they'll tell you, oh, I felt way more lighter. My body was super, super relaxed. Well, years ago when I was paralyzed, that's what I felt. Besides, my body was in pain, but I was so dissociated from my body. It was really the learning for me of, wait a minute, I'm not my body. So who am I? And this has been my 20-year quest to find out who I am other than this physicality. And ketamine, in particular, has really shown me that we are just this humanness. We have just fallen off the merry-go-round of conscious energy, the conscious flow. We have fallen out of that. And in a way, if you take it as a merry-go-round, when you would be at the playground and your buddies would be on the merry-go-round and be screaming by, and when you would try to jump on and it would rip you apart trying to get on, if you tried to grab it, it would dislocate your shoulder or break your arm trying to get on it. Well, maybe that's what death is. Maybe death is the loss of the physicality, because we go back into energy. We get back on the merry-go-round. So you've heard about this shift and the Great Awakening and everything of what is happening in our reality these days. And this is what I was told. The download or whatever came. Consciousness, the merry-go-round, is slowing down. We, the ones that have fallen off the merry-go-round, that are out of the spin, out of the energy, we are now the snow in the snow globe falling down and have become that density because we're non-movement. We're more physical than energetic. When you're on the merry-go-round, remember, you can't be physical. There is no density. You are full on in the energy, in the flow of consciousness. Maybe what humanness is are those that have fallen off the merry-go-round. and they're just floating around in denseness. And the ones inside on the merry-go-round think it's awesome because they're like, oh man, this must be incredible to be physical. But the problem is we forget that we came from the merry-go-round. That's home. So as people get older, they start to fall into the gravitational pull of the energetic consciousness. Just energy, no physicality. And as their body gets older, they start to fall into it, and then boom, it takes them. It pulls them back onto the merry-go-round. And maybe that's what death is. And when we fly off and we go into the density, into the much lower energetic body, then maybe that's what life is. So maybe we got it backwards. Maybe actually what death is life. And what life is death. And why that is important, because suddenly the things that you have been afraid of, the things that you have been so concerned about, suddenly they don't have as much pull on you. They don't pull you into the fear, because what's our number one fear? Death. But what if, when somebody dies, whether it be from a tragedy, or just from old age, maybe that's them falling back into non-physical, into the flow of consciousness, just like the rings around Saturn. Just a flow of consciousness that you cannot see, but it's there. Because we are so dense in energy. We are the snow in the snow globe that is laying in the bottom. All we can perceive is that snow. We see the liquid, but there's nothing to see. It's just clear liquid. Maybe that is what reality is. And I think in this time, what we're doing is we're slowing, or the consciousness, the conscious energy agent, whatever that is, you, who you really are, is slowing down, and we are speeding up so we can meet it without ripping our bodies apart, so we can be in that energetic. So if you are struggling to be human, for whatever reason, maybe you just don't feel like you fit, maybe that's why you're an addict, maybe that's why people become alcoholics, they use heroin because they want to be disassociated from their body. So think about that. Maybe we are just a conscious stream of energy, and we just forgot. And we got the chance to be out here and be physical and see the magic, touch the magic. That's where beauty is. When you can actually see it, you become it. So that's why ketamine has been so important for so many people, because it has opened their eyes into the magic, into the beauty. They are finally seeing things that they could never see before, and it's been right in front of them the whole time. Follow for more.